Hey, it's Francis, and welcome to another level of Dungeon Synthesis. Last time, we added a new section to the song I'm working on, and I said that I would approach pickup phrases so that we can add a little bit of interest to our transitions. Let's take a look at that. All right, here we are back in Reaper, and I'll show you the transition leading into the new part and the transition leading out of it to get a better idea of where we left off. So the thing that stands out to me here that's bothering me, and the reason why I want to approach this next, is that the transition from this section back to the beginning of the song is very abrupt. One part just ends and the other one begins. And part of the reason for that is that we haven't introduced reverb yet. If you remember, our reverb is off right now. So having that space affect the transition will help. But I like to make sure that I'm using reverb as a tool as much as I am as an effect. I don't want the reverb to be the thing that makes or breaks the song. So I want to make sure that I like the way the notes sound before I add it in. Another thing that I want to do is to add some sort of a build-up in this second section of my new part. I find that the same thing repeating twice is bothering me a little bit. It doesn't sound bad, but I think that I could use a little bit more build-up in the guitar part specifically. This fantasy patch sounds pretty good doing the same thing, but I think that if I added more notes in the guitar, it'll help. And it'll also lead us to, I think, what will become our breakthrough creatively. So. Let's try that pedal tone thing. And all I'm doing here is filling in the gaps with notes that I think won't get in the way of the melody. Let's hear this. So I think that my solution is going to be bleeding the guitar over onto beat one of the next measure and bleeding the violin over onto beat one of the next measure. I feel like this descending line sounds like it never ends, especially because of the pedal tone in this piano bass. So resolving that will give us a feeling of completion. Let's see if I can find a note to resolve that too. What better than the tonic? A C. And maybe the guitar can play a G. And while I'm at it, maybe this fantasy patch can bleed over as well. I'll try filling out the chord. I think that sounds pretty good. Another thing that I was imagining was leading into this fantasy section with a few notes. Maybe I'll get inspiration from the guitar, since the guitar and the fantasy patch are playing roughly the same thing. Ba 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 bum. Maybe I'll try harmonizing that. You know what? As a matter of fact, why don't I just copy this flute line? Oh. Oh, it's a guitar. I just haven't named it properly. So I'll get rid of these. And this section here is giving me that feeling of transition. Because this isn't a plucked sound, these notes will bleed over, so I'm going to shorten them. And it's okay, but it's not perfect. I think that I might want to harmonize these notes. That sounds great. I really like the sound of that. Let's hear it from the beginning of the last measure, or rather the last section leading into part 2. Okay, and I already have a new idea as a result of this part, which I think that I like quite a bit. And what that new idea is to use this idea of a stab, sort of an orchestra hit between the violin and the fantasy patch, as a repeating gesture. Maybe every time the guitar stops to breathe. I'll make markers in each of those places. Now this is a thing that I might not need to do more than once and copy paste, but maybe it'll sound exciting if I change the chords. Let's try it first with the same chord twice. Sounds pretty cool. I'm going to make that happen every single time. But I think that it's going to get a little bit boring having it happen the same way. So I'm going to label this. I just can't help myself with these labels and color coding. And I think that I'm going to make the chord a little bit different every time. Since we're working in a modal system, where all of the pitch structures are based on the Phrygian mode in the key of C, we can sort of get away with doing any chords that fit into that mode. Except for maybe this one. It's a little bit of a dicey chord. Let's hear it anyway. I played the wrong note. It's cool. It could work. Let's try another one. That's a bit strange. If we hear that on its own, it sounds like this. But I kind of like it in context because it's unexpected. And this last one, part of me wants to make the same as the first two, but another part of me wants to try something that really, really forces us to want to come back to that first one. I could try adding a new note from out of the key. Let's hear what that sounds like. Right off the bat, I don't think it's good. That's kind of cool. Let's see if it's cool the second time. And I'll listen through this whole section. I think I like it. And with that, I think we have the basis of our full arrangement. Maybe we'll go back to this part one more time. And let's add that lead in one more time as well. And I think what we can do here is almost fade the song out, but maybe we'll do it naturally by removing one instrument at a time. Starting with the fantasy, and then the guitar, and ending on a lonely chord between the piano and the violin. Maybe even a unison, not a chord. Let's hear what that sounds like as an outro. Busier version of the guitar on the way out. Yeah. Let's go straight to here. I like it. So that's going to be all for today. Thanks for watching. In our next episode, we're going to try to finish the song by mixing it and using some synthesis techniques to soften up all of our sounds and make it a little bit more lo-fi. We'll see you then.